I'm glad I got that curse in right at the last second. Thresh, and it's Caria's Thresh. This guy, if you haven't seen this, welcome to the party.
Thank you, Veldas, because this is really big. The Kench, as good as Caria is on the pick, it's a self-counter pick, right? You have no ability, reasonably, to punish. Whereas with the Thresh...
Thank you, Wolf.
We'll find out, all right?
We will find out.
Will we, Wolf?
On
Will
the Rifts, if this happens. We have Ignite Akshan in the top lane for Doran. He said, well, I just played kind of a risky pick with the Camille into the Jace. I got a bit bodied. Let's just play Ignite Akshan.
You know what's really interesting about Akshan, too, in this series in particular, which has been so bloody and so many Baron flips, is that Akshan's passive is Resurrect. Could actually make a huge impact in a game like that when teams are taking risky Baron attempts. We'll see if that ends up being very relevant, because so far in the very few games of Akshan we've seen in competitive, it's kind of an added bonus, but it isn't the reason why you pick the champion. It's for lane control, early game prio. So very similar to Lucian in a lot of ways. But, you know, could make an impact with the team fights we've seen this series so far. I would not be shocked if we have a big, you know, triple res that decides this game.
Key thing for Gen.G is just don't fall behind. Don't do it. Don't think about it. No, not allowed. No way, as Zeus actually went for Electrocute here. So the short trades, the Doran ideally is going to look for, proc press the attack, and then slingshot your way out. Are going to be a lot harder. Really like the adaptation, because Zeus has gone for basically everyone we've seen him with.
Going to be kind of the story.
Okay, Doran is actually taking a lot of damage. The flash comes in, and Owner's right there.
What did I say? You know,
boy.
see that Dark Seal? You know, this is the kind of game we're watching. And this is the Akshan pick from Doran. He's trying to get ahead. He took Ignite. He dies sub 4 minutes. That's why people are saying I'm a little bit worried about Doran going into this series. His performance has not been consistent.
Okay, Chovy, really nice response there. As Predator Thresh was coming to the mid lane, Caria went back, bought boots, and was ready to party. But Chovy said no.
You're a top laner. You're an 80 top laner that's gonna show. You know this gank is coming. It's not something that
wiggle his way out of this one. Gen.G, first Drake soap. It's a Chovy once again vulnerable.
Guma is alone down here, and now he's getting exhausted. Caria flash hooks and misses. The trade down on the bottom side, not necessarily going too much better, as you see that Guma is able to stand up to Ruler, who did take a turret shot.
But going back to the Drake, I was going to mention, you know, if you make a play like this and fail, then you give over a lot of control to bottom side for Gen.G, and they will be able to get the first Drake out of this. Caria used his Predator boots, doesn't find the kill, gets a flash now down right before Rift Herald spawn.
They don't read this.
Man.
They don't know.
Yeah, there's the Drake, and he's saying, where's the Viego? He's up on the top side, as Chovy has not been able to roam on up there, and now Faker's making his way, will be spotted.
Gonna ult first, try to get some damage through, but...
Well, oh, that was a really nice stun in the middle of the hook sling, as now that is just going to be a dead Akshan as the last auto comes in after Doran flashes, and he will be taken out.
That's fine, but then pick a pick that actually facilitates that, because now you have an Akshan that's monstrously far behind us. Oh, Peanut.
That is a fast Thresh, and he will flash to get out of this one, but the rest is still coming, and the death sentence will make his death come through. As Caria is able to hand that kill into the palm of Gumi.
It was a decree with the prediction on the hook there. So beautifully played. And Peanut tries to outplay him, does not succeed, is of course flashless. And this game is so quickly out of Gen.G's hands in this early part. Rift Herald is guaranteed for T1. Chovy does not have prio, can't make a roam, can't make an impact here. And this Akshan is perma stuck under turret, like you were saying, Chronicler. This is not the reason why you picked this. You're not supposed to.
Nicely done. Final order from Zeus, making sure. Yeah, Peanut died again.
Oh,
guys.
5 stacks of Dark Seal as well for Zeus.
Yep.
You can see Peanut on the cam too. He's feeling it. And I think we're all feeling it at this point. This is not the way that Gen.G potentially wanted to go out in this series. They're going to have to turn this around real quick. But Caria, he is on the hunt, as the sentence will not be put through this time. Chovy is able to walk that one out.
this is not how anybody wanted this series to end. I think even the biggest T1 fan is frustrated with the way at which this game has gone out of control. Now, we've seen bigger deficits than this. Not going to have vision control, and so is always going to be under threat against this Ahri, who's going to be much more difficult to deal with a Thresh.
Uh-oh. Jovi's in a lot of trouble here. He has heal and teleport. That's not going to be enough, as even Rocket sails by. Just Skooma usually saying, hello, by the way, I'm in this game.
Yeah, this is going to be ton of plates going over to an already 2-0-1 Kennen. Akshan is not going to be relevant in this late game. He's not going to be relevant in the early and mid game either. I mean, we've seen a crazier comeback than this from Gen.G, but we're going to have to see it again if this becomes a game 5.
Well, yeah, that was with Renekton and Nidalee on the enemy team, which after that game, I don't even know if even I can defend. And they had Yuumi and all. Well, they still have Yuumi, so that's something.
Yeah, they're gonna
have Akshan.
The scaling Yuumi.
Yes, the scaling Yuumi into the Fat Cannon. And Gen.G, at least the Drake stats are good, and you can feel the frustration because I don't think that this Akshan pick was necessary. That's the core issue that we get into. And with how the series has been going, it feels like a really big risk to take. End result, you get counter pick. From T1 is also them picking this Thresh has nothing to do with punishing in lane.
He's trying to get on top of Jovi here. He does have his flash, but it's not going to matter as now Peanut's trying to make a play. But again, you're so far behind, you can't do much. He will survive for a very long time, actually. As down on the bottom side, Guma's all alone. That's going to be a kill into the hands of Ruler. As Peanut, he will eventually go down. That is another kill into the hands of Owner. As now over the wall, Doran is here, but is he really? As he's just trying to get away now from Keria, who nearly pulls out the 400 IQ hook.
Saying the Yuumi counter pick was the Thresh because Yuumi is not going to have the pressure lane to punish. That's the first kill we see on Guma. He's been alone in this lane for 15 minutes. He's had no help. Keria has been roaming all around the map ever since he got his first boots. Got Moby, said, see ya, Guma. You're fine. Good luck. Have fun playing into Xayah. Up until that point, Guma did so expertly. And Keria is just everywhere, all of the time. And we've seen him do this on the Thresh so many times that, yeah, that's just not a lot.
I mean, it's just there's an exhaust and a Yuumi ult. I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, and it only happens because of this insane range problem, the same issues we talked about last game. This time, arguably, an even stronger lead because the Akshan is just not going to be relevant.
All right, well, Gen.G, they've decided to make their stand. They're down about 4,500 gold, and they were considering pushing into that second Rift Herald. The answer actually is going to be no at the end of the day. Here comes Predator again, as Peanut just kind of stands there and says, well, I don't have a ward, I don't have a way to get out, so I'm just dead. Submarine 2022 version.
Absolutely. Go get him, Doran.
Okay,
Is that a double?
What do you guys?
He didn't get him! He didn't get him, Valdez!
Yeah.
He didn't get him!
That's Zeus with the double kill. There you go, 4-0, 9 stacks on it, and he's gonna just die. As Jovi will pick up the kill at the very, very least.
I mean, 700 gold in a Ryze's pocket isn't going to change the outcome of this game, I'm afraid. A tank Ryze, mind you, in this meta.
Jovi's sticking around. He's trying to step up to them. He's actually going to get the flash out of Guma, but nearly trades his life for it.
That should be the turret going down here. Owner has this Rift Herald. Looks like he might want to look for a mid-inner instead because they have so much control. The wraparound is real. T1 have trapped Gen.G here on the bottom side. They're so scared to push forward on the Guma because they don't know where anybody is. They're about to find out, and I don't think they're going to like the answer.
Oh, they're trying to turn this one with a teleport, but not going to amount to much. Again, with the Cloud Rift especially, T1 and all the vision, they just run in and out, and they just go wherever they want. So they do it really fast, too.
This is where it starts. You pick up the bounty, you get the soul points. Help me out here, guys.
There's flash available. Ult's coming up, and they do not see him.
Oh, no!
Oh, they are. Okay. He's not going to
He doesn't have it yet. He doesn't have it yet. It's almost
waiting. As that is some nice poke. The hook onto Jovi, but he's tanky. As now it comes in, but the immediate exhaust as Ruler is kiting back. They are still alive, but that's going to be the dragon going the way of Faker. as they are super low, but it's not really going to matter all too much. Everybody on the side of T1 will get the Drake and get out. Like, Peanut has fallen so far behind. Doran is very obvious, but at least Zaya has a kill and he's ahead. I mean, that's something, I guess. Maybe Ruler can pull off some kind of crazy play. At this point, I'm basically just pulling at straws because I just...
Get us those straws, Wilder.
I wanted a game 5, you know. I wanted it, but we'll see how this goes. I mean, Gen.G, they're not... The Nexus hasn't died, and they have pulled off some crazier things. And T1, they looked a little bit flimsy in that game 2 and that game 3, so who knows? Let's see what they got. Toby's just going to go for a face check here as Jinx says bye-bye with the rocket coming in. And now Ruler, he's going to stand up to the Thresh, but he's basically all alone. And the Feathers will not be enough as they will get on top of Ruler. And Doran, with all that mobility, might just barely be able to get alive. But Faker says no, and that will be the end, the ace, going the way of T1.
And it looks like T1 is very likely going to pick up their 10th LCK title tonight. Faker will pick it up, put it in his pocket. So many firsts for Guma, Caria, Owner, Zayas. You know, Zayas is basically a rookie this season, not technically because he played a few games last season, but Owner, the player who had a great performance against Tom1 Kia last time around, a way better one here against Gen.G in his second back-to-back finals. And it's a 16-3, 8,000 gold. But this is an even more dominant T1 than 2015. The perfect 18-0, a 19-0 after that win over Kwangdong, and they're looking for the 20-0 the full season. And there's just not one piece, not 1 acre of this rift, not even 1 square meter really that belongs to Gen.G.
Yeah, T1 now, they're just looking to push and get as much value out of this Baron that they picked up, by the way, finally, maybe the first clean Baron we've seen in the entire series. T1 take it down, and Toby, he finally takes out that top turret. It took him about 2 minutes, but he gets the job done. And you can see that Ruler, you know, he's trying to be the one-man army right now with the, you know, trusty sidekick Cat. But at this point, he's going to be forced to ult. Teleport also used. Chovy coming down to try to help scrap up what little hope they have.
Yes.
Well, there's just no good answers here for Gen.G, right? That's the problem, is that when it comes to combat mechanics, can you force? Not really. Your CC is very lackluster. Flanks, not an option with the complete lack of vision. So it really requires everyone of T1 to run into Ruler, because he is actually fed, and once he finishes the real dust, he'll be really strong. But like, why would T1 do that? They don't have to. They can take the entire map, which by the way they have been doing, pick up Baron buff, pick up more Drakes, just stack them, and play this out as slowly, as methodically as possible, because why wouldn't you? With all the space, all the times, all the items that you bought yourself, look at these leads. Peanut doesn't even have tier 2 boots.
And there's so much turn, you can't run at this T1 team. You have no CC, you got no freedom.
Doran's on the run. Feels like that's been the name of the game for him in this one. Inhibitor goes down. Peanut, you know, he's looking for an angle here, but no Q to land. And that's just going to be Gumayusi keeping them at arm's length. They still have the Baron for 10 seconds. They're getting so much value out of this so early on in this game. 11,000 gold the lead now for T1 as they look to potentially close this one out. That's now Peanut, a huge play on Taguma. He finally is able to get something done in this one, but that's only a 1-for-1. You see T1, they're going to say, okay, we'll take our foot off the gas pedal for now.
Does protect that inhibitor, which is pretty massive. I mean, it keeps Gen.G alive a little bit longer. It does stretches their chances a little bit further here, but it is a critical. This far behind is a trade up, but I would argue it's not even in this case because yes, all the summoners are another issue, but T1 will take that trade and then take further map control as they back and fight away. Gen.G aren't gaining anything from this 1-for-1 except the gold that Gumayusi's corpse was worth, which isn't going to change the outcome of this game, unfortunately. They need more, they need decisive fights, they need objective wins. And the next one's not up for a very long time as they just have to cower in their base.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can stick around in this one for very much longer because the Baron is coming up in a minute, and you know that T1 have their sights on that. They still have this incredible pick comp, and they will be looking and hunting trying to just squeak out all the vision on the map towards that side and look to end this one with the second Baron of the game.
It's hard. We had so many games where there's angles, there's lines, there's plays available. And I think this is the first game where it truly depends on T1 playing over-aggressive as opposed to Gen.G having a real angle. And that's a really big difference with many of the previous games.
Speaking of angles, Zeus is on scene.
Ruler does have the cleanse, so at least he's able to get away from that one. Here comes Shirelia's as the rocket's coming in, and there's the flash charm. Faker wants to end this game before the Baron. He wants to go home with yet another trophy in his pocket, and he might just be able to do it right now, 27 minutes into this game. Peanut will be pushed away.
There's a wave.
There is a wave, and they will look for it. The charm not quite going to land, but they know Zeus is even diving on top of the fountain. Will they be able to get Jovi? The answer looks like no, as we still got the trumpets playing as they chase down the enemy jungler. This game looks like it might not end here, as we do have a wave coming in, but it's going to be difficult. Owner will be able to pick it up, and that is going to be the end of this. T1 are your spring 2022 victors here at Kintex once again for the 10th win of this organization.
Time. And
Look at him run.
They win their 10th title 10 years after the start of LCK at the Kintex Arena where LCK finals first began. And it's just so poignant to see Faker lift his 10th trophy with a group of players that he built around him. It didn't work out last year. They weren't able to lift it then. They weren't able to take that Worlds title. But it's all coming full circle. The perfect season, 20-0. T1 have done it.
Unbelievable.